Hello, my name is Blake Mounts, and I wrote this short story. Actually, finished it last night, but I started on a couple days ago. Um, it's a great story. I feel I really enjoyed writing it, and I hope you enjoy listening to it. Here we go. I opened my eyes and I wondered, who am I? Where am I? What is this place? It's very dusty. Everything's old. I look down and my hands and feet are small. I'm a young boy. My clothes are old and brittle. I walk outside. More dust. It's like those Western movies I grew up watching with my papa. Why am I in a Western? Better yet, why am I a young boy in a Western? That's right. More things are coming back to me now. I'm almost 80 and I live at the beach in the 21st century. Where the hell am I? And why? I need to play this out. The people walking by look so familiar. I swear I know them. A sweet young lady just called me by name. This is so freaky and weird. Another person, an older Spanish man, told me death was on its way, and they claim extinction. He seems so familiar, like I've known him for years. Why am I getting so frightened? I don't want bad things to happen. Why can't everyone just be happy? Why can't life be beautiful at all times? I'm so scared. I ball up on the porch of some building, crying, wanting to go home. I want to wake up. These familiar faces just walk by. I guess they don't care. I guess we really are all alone in life. Then this kind older gentleman picks me up and packs me inside his little shop. He tells me everything is okay. Sheriff will be back soon. Gonna make things better. The humbleness of this man eases me. Reminds me so much of an important role model in my life. Tells me not to fear death and his minions. When the sheriff arrives, he'll take care of the innocent and kind folk. At that moment, a creature in a black cloak appears, but the kind old man doesn't even notice the creature. The kind old man turns to ash, and I instantly grow weak and afraid. The hair on my neck stands up. I get so cold. He hisses as he whispers, "Come and see." At that time, the creature walked me over to the window and pointed at the edge of the town. In comes an Indian on a white horse. He held a bow and wore a crown of feathers. Then my father, the preacher, standing outside the church, reciting Revelation 6:1-2, as that Indian killed and conquered his way through town. The creature then whispered, "You must pay your debts." I then see a flash of myself in my early 20s. I was selfish and conquering things I wanted without remorse for the destruction I left behind. Then the creature snapped his fingers and the town was normal again. He informs me there is plenty more to come. Then he whispers, "Come and see." As he points to the edge of the town, a general on a red horse, wielding a large sword. The general sounds a trumpet and slays the family, then everyone in town turns on each other. The streets are filled with blood, all while my father recites Revelation 6:3-4. I then have a flash when I was in my late 30s. I was working for a big corporation, but I wanted to be in charge. I put my time in and effort, so I deserved it. With one big swing, I created the chaos which cleared the path for me to take control while everyone else was destroying each other. The creature in black snaps his fingers again, and everything goes back to normal. Then he informs me that he can take all this away, make things better. Tells me I can have anything I want. All I have to do is sign a deed that he pulls out from his cloak. At that moment, I look down. My hands and feet have grown. I'm no longer a young boy. I tell him to leave. He's not welcome. and I don't want nothing to do with the deed. The creature grows furious, lets out a wicked squall, one that made my flesh squirm and my heart hurt. Then he says, "Have it your way, but this will be unbearing." He points out the window and whispers, "Come and see." At the edge of town comes a black man of the highest class, holding money in one hand and bread in the other, riding a black horse. People are crawling towards him, begging for food and money, for the town is dry. My father recites Revelation 6:5-6, while the town folks starve to death. Then a flash. I'm in my late 50s. There's land I need, but the people of the town won't sell to me. So I bought the water plant nearby and shut off their water. My company was a trucking business that delivered food throughout the East Coast, so I raised the prices high enough where they couldn't afford it. I killed the town for the land. The creature snaps his fingers, and the town is back to normal. He reminds me that a signature is all he needs, and then I'll get all I need. I again tell him he is not welcome to leave. He gives me the most sinister grin imaginable. Then he whispers, "Come and see," while pointing through the window to the edge of town. Here comes a pale horse, and he who sat on it was my father. I hear him reciting Revelation 6, 7, and 8 as I collapse to the floor. I bawl worse than when I was the young boy. I open my eyes, and now I'm old and wrinkled and weak and numb. The creature stood over me, and I knew hell was close behind me. Then I flash. I was a teenager. I get into a bad argument with my father. He leaves for a mission to help feed some locals who could use some help. One of those people was struggling with a mental disorder and stabbed him 6 times. The worst part, I told my dad I hated him before he left. Those were my last words to him. The creature snaps his fingers and the town is empty. Silence fills the air for a brief moment. I then continue to cry. The creature asks me what I saw. I tell him the worst day of my life. He assures me he can fix it with a simple signature on a simple deed. I ask him how. My father walks into the store. All I can muster to say is, "Father?" He replies with a smile on his face, "Hello, son. Been a while." He helps me up and hugs me. At first I was overjoyed, but soon after I started to get this weird feeling in my gut. I back away. Something's not right. He asks me what's wrong. I tell him he is not my father. He assures me he is, that he's been waiting here for me, that everything can be better. All I got to do is sign that deed. My eyes begin to water. "No, you aren't my father. How dare you say that to me? The last thing you said to me was that you hated me.